Hey everyone, welcome to our second video lecture this week. Our last video lecture was wrapping up Unit 2 and getting us ready for our Unit 2 quiz, our second Unit 2 quiz. This video is going to serve as the intro to Unit 3. We're going to discuss the atmosphere in this video lecture. We've already discussed the atmosphere a little bit in class when we talked about Earth's systems. We've talked about the atmosphere, geosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere, but we didn't talk about any of those in depth really. So today we're going to talk about the atmosphere in depth, and that will serve as the foundation for the next topics we're going to talk about, because we're going to talk about weather and climate, and the atmosphere serves as the foundation of all weather. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so what is the atmosphere? The atmosphere is the outermost layer of Earth, and it is a relatively thin envelope of gas that surrounds our planet. It's made up of a mixture of gases. Most people only think oxygen and CO2 when they think of the atmosphere, but it's actually much more than just those two gases. It also contains water vapor, dust particles, cloud droplets, and things of that nature. And it also contains weather, and it serves as the foundation of Earth's climate as stated in the previous slide. All right, let's talk about the atmosphere's composition a little bit. The atmosphere consists of nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, as well as particles of liquids and solids. Let's start off talking about nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. It makes up more than 75% of the air we breathe, and it's present in all living things. And just talking about the atoms of nitrogen that are in our body makes up about 3% of our body weight. Another important gas that the atmosphere is composed of is oxygen. Oxygen is the second most abundant gas in the atmosphere, makes up about 21% of the air we breathe by volume. And oxygen is obviously very important to us because plants and animals need oxygen in order to release energy from their food. The next gas we need to talk about is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide makes up less than 1% of the atmosphere, but is critically important to us because plants need carbon dioxide in order to produce their energy, which is for them, they produce glucose, and then we get the energy we need from plants. Or if you don't like vegetables, you get it from animals, but they got that energy from plants most likely. So carbon dioxide is very, very important to us. And then other gases that are present in the atmosphere, argon is also a gas that is present in our atmosphere. It makes up the rest of the remaining 1%. And there are other gases in the atmosphere. We don't really need to know about these, but we call them trace gases. All right, in the last few slides, we've been talking about what the air around us is composed of, but we were talking about dry air, what dry air is composed of in the last few slides. Air is not dry, however, and air contains a lot of water vapor. So what is water vapor? Water vapor is water in its gaseous form, and it plays a role in our weather. As water on the surface evaporates, rises into the atmosphere, and then condenses, water droplets and ice crystals form clouds. When these droplets become too heavy to be suspended up in the clouds, they fall to the earth as precipitation, whether it be rain or snow. So there's water vapor in the air around us, but there's also other particles as well in the air around us. Air is never pure in nature. The only time it's pure is in labs. And air contains a lot of small solid particulates. Air contains dust, salt, and other chemicals. And some of these particles we can see with the naked eye, but many are very, very small that we can't necessarily see with the naked eye. So air is not just air, it's also water vapor and other small particles, whether it be dust or things like that. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's virtual lectures. We'll talk more about the climate in the next coming weeks. But for now, you watch the video, answer the questions that were in the Edpuzzle,